We're doing a deep dive into Piarom dates from Iran.
Ah, Piarom dates. Interesting choice.
We've got this great source, an article from Airy Export. They seem to be real experts on these.
Right, they focus specifically on exporting them, so it should be pretty detailed information.
And our mission today,
Yeah.
pretty simple, really. We want to pull out the key stuff, the essentials. What makes these dates stand out? Why are they considered premium?
Yeah, figure out what makes them special, the characteristics, the different varieties they mention. The source suggests they're exported globally, so there's definitely something notable about them.
Okay, then let's jump right in. First off, what exactly are Piarom dates?
Well, according to the source, they're positioned as a premium date. Large-sized, mainly grown in one specific area.
Right, Hajiabad. That's in Hormozgan Province, Iran. And they paint a picture. Dark brown color, thin skin, which is interesting.
Yeah, thin skin and a semi-dry texture. Not totally moist, not totally dry.
They even give a size reference about 2 or 3 finger joints long, so fairly substantial.
Mm-hmm. And critically, they're described as sweet, high quality, and with no added syrup. That natural sweetness is a big point.
Definitely. It also mentions they ripen late in the summer and have this unique flavor. We'll probably circle back to that flavor aspect.
We should. And it's a major export item, which explains the quality grades. They list 5. Super select, select, regular, pest eye, and even seedless.
5 grades. That tells you something about the market for them. Now, here's something I found fascinating. The temperament.
Ah, yes, the traditional Persian medicine angle. The source says they have a warm and dry nature.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How cultures classify food beyond just, protein, carbs, fats.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about balance. In this tradition, you'd pair a warm and dry food like Piarom dates with something cold and moist to balance it out.
Like what does it say?
Yeah, it suggests things like vinegar or sakanjabin, that's a kind of sweet and sour minty drink, or even just sour lemon. It's about achieving equilibrium in the body.
Interesting. Okay, so moving from traditional ideas to modern nutrition. It's actually in them. The source gives numbers per 100 grams.
Right. Energy-wise, you're looking at around 310 kilocalories, so yeah, quite energy dense.
Mostly from sugars, it looks like. Over 80 grams.
80.28 grams of sugar, yes.
Yes.
And carbohydrates are about 71 grams. But it's not just sugar.
Yeah, what else?
Well, there's fiber, about 2.1 grams, and protein, around 2 grams as well, which is important.
Right. The fiber helps moderate that sugar absorption, presumably.
Exactly. It provides more sustained energy. And minerals, too. Calcium, about 60 milligrams. Iron, 1 milligram. Sodium, roughly 41 milligrams. And quite a bit of potassium.
How much potassium?
Over a gram. 1.07 grams, actually. Pretty significant.
Okay, so nutrient-wise, they pack a punch. Now let's get into the different types. This seems like a big part of the story. The source breaks it down by appearance, production area, and quality.
Yeah, it's quite detailed. Let's start with appearance. Seems there are 2 main looks. Black Piarom and Golden Piarom.
Black Piarom sounds like the premium one.
It definitely comes across that way. Described as very sweet, pricier, and linked to older palm trees, often found specifically in that Hajiabad region.
What makes the Hajiabad one special, according to the source?
It points to the unique climate there, the farming techniques, and importantly, those older palms. They give it a dark color, intense sweetness, soft texture, melts in your mouth, it says. Big size, great flavor, popular with foreign buyers.
Okay, so that's the Black Piarom, the Hajiabad star.
Yeah.
What about the Golden Piarom?
That one's positioned as having a milder sweetness. It comes from younger palms, apparently, which makes it less expensive.
And is it tied to a specific region?
Not really. The source suggests it's grown more widely, lighter color, still good quality, but just gentler on the sweetness. Same sort of size, though.
Got it. So appearance gives us black and golden. Now, what about the production areas? This seems really important. Hajiabad comes up again, obviously.
Yes, Hajiabad Piarom is basically synonymous with that top quality, super sweet, dark, soft, export-focused date we just discussed. It's their signature tied to those old palms.
Okay. What other regions are mentioned? Sistan, Baluchistan.
Right. Sistan, Baluchistan, Piarom, also very sweet, but the key difference here is it's drier.
Drier. How does that affect it?
Gives it a longer shelf life, apparently over a year. Still good quality, fair price. Good for everyday use, maybe.
Interesting. Shelf life is a practical point.
Okay.
Next is Piarom.
Ah, Piarom. Sweet like Hajiabad's, the source says, but also meaty and juicy.
Ooh, meaty and juicy sounds good.
It does. That texture apparently bumps up the quality and the price. But it needs more careful storage because of that moisture, perhaps? Fancy gift option, it suggests.
Makes sense. Then there's Boucher Piarom, mostly golden.
Mostly golden,
Yeah.
yeah. Lighter color, drier texture again, good for shipping, long-lasting.
Yeah.
Affordable, solid daily choice. Milder sweetness, aligning with the golden type.
Okay. Khuzestan Piarom is next. Sounds like a bit of an all-rounder.
Kind of, yeah. Meaty, big size, very sweet, top quality. Often golden, but popular both in Iran and abroad. Fair price, too. Seems like a good balance.
Then we have Barafdab Piarom. Sounds similar to Hajiabad again.
Very similar description. Very sweet, pricey, darker, top quality. Described as awesome black, super sweet, soft. Great for export or special events. Another premium dark variety, it seems.
And finally, Dahistan Piarom. What's the
Ah.
profile there?
Soft and dry, interestingly. Long shelf life, mild sweetness, good quality. Affordable, good for everyday snacking, the source suggests.
Wow, okay. So the region really matters. It impacts sweetness, texture, color, even how long it lasts.
Absolutely. Terroir is definitely a factor with these dates.
All right, that's appearance and region. Let's switch to the quality grades. We heard the names earlier, but what do they mean? Select Piarom.
Select Piarom. Described as having soft, full flesh. The skin is a bit thicker than Super Select, but still a good size. Hand-picked, sweet, export-ready. Found in Hormozgan, places like that.
The good quality export grade. And then the top one, Super Select Piarom.
Yeah, this sounds like the best of the best.
Oh, yeah.
Soft flesh, soft skin, awesome sweetness, big size, mostly from Hormozgan. Big hit internationally. The premium pick.
Makes sense. Seedless Piarom is pretty straightforward, I guess.
Yep. Just means the seeds have been taken out by hand or machine. Costs a bit more because the labor can be done with any type from any region. Purely convenience.
Okay. What about regular Piarom? Middle of the road.
Seems like it. Soft flesh, mild sweetness, medium thick skin. Sells well locally in Iran because it's more affordable. Good balance of quality and price for just, regular eating.
And the last one, cheap Pesti Piarom.
Right. The budget option. Firmer flesh, thicker skin. Still sweet and decent, though. Best for daily use if cost is the main factor. Found everywhere dates are grown. The Presti might mean it's maybe less perfectly formed or used in processing.
Could be. So quite a range in quality and price points then.
Definitely. Something for every preference and budget, it seems.
Okay, we know the types now. What about the benefits? The article lists quite a few.
It does. It circles back to that warm and dry nature, suggesting it balances cold temperaments.
Yeah.
And then more direct things like the energy boost from the natural sugars, especially in the top grades.
And the fiber. Good for digestion.
Yes, rich in fiber, good for digestion. Plus, the minerals support overall health. But then it lists more specific things.
Yeah, I saw that. Things like diabetes management and we should stress management, not cure energy boost, oral health, digestive health again.
Lowering bad cholesterol, boosting male potency, being a tasty multivitamin, better nerves, fighting Alzheimer's. Quite a list.
It is. And it's really important, like you said, to remember these are claims mentioned in the source, traditional uses, maybe some preliminary ideas.
Exactly. Dates are nutritious, yes. Natural sugars, fiber, minerals, great. But for specific medical claims like these, you'd absolutely need proper scientific evidence and advice from health professionals.
Absolutely. We're reporting what the source says, not endorsing medical treatments here.
Right. The general benefits around energy and digestion based on the nutrients seem pretty sound, though.
Okay. Now, the big comparison, Piarom versus Medjool. Medjools are probably more familiar to many listeners. How do they stack up according to the source?
Yeah, the source has a helpful table comparing them, appearance-wise. Medjools are typically larger, Piaroms are longer and thinner. Color is dark brown for both, but Piarom can go almost blackish.
Texture. I think of Medjools as really soft.
Exactly. Medjools are soft and meaty. Piaroms are described as semi-dry and firmer. A different bite. Medjool has that sweet sort of caramel flavor. Piarom is also sweet, but the source mentions notes of chocolate or even hazelnut. Quite distinct.
Ooh, chocolate or hazelnut notes sound interesting. Nutritionally, both good.
Both good sources of fiber, vitamins, minerals. Medjool gets a shout out for iron and potassium. Piarom for magnesium and potassium. Slight differences?
Origin. Medjool is Morocco originally, right? Though grown elsewhere now.
Correct. And Piarom is distinctly Iran, especially Hormozgan. Price-wise, Medjools usually cost more.
Why is that, typically?
Often perceived as more premium, maybe higher moisture content means more careful handling too. Harvest times differ slightly too, medjool a bit earlier, Piarom starting late September.
And storage is a key difference you mentioned
Right.
because of the texture.
Right, medjools need the fridge or freezer because they're softer, more moisture. Piaroms, being semi-dry, last longer at room temp, though refrigeration extends their life too.
Size difference too.
Yeah, medjools are generally heavier and larger overall than Piaroms, so similar category but definitely different dates.
That comparison is really useful. Okay, so say you buy some Piaroms. How best to store them?
Keep them dry and cool. That's the main thing. Their semi-dry nature is a big advantage here.
So they don't necessarily need the fridge.
Not always, especially the drier types. The article says they can last a year outside the fridge without losing quality. Low moisture prevents spoilage.
But the fridge is okay too.
Oh, yeah. In the fridge, they can last even longer, 6 to 18 months, the source suggests. Staying good.
Good to know.
Mhm.
And if someone's listening and thinks, right, I want to try these, the source itself, Area Export, they sell them.
Yes, the article mentions Area Export specializes in exporting Grade 1 Piarom dates. They highlight their experience and services for buyers.
And they provide contact details.
They do. Phone numbers, email, even a physical address in Tehran are listed in the source for anyone interested in buying directly or inquiring. They seem positioned as a go-to source.
Okay, great. So let's wrap this up. We've really dug into Piarom dates today.
We have learned they're a premium Iranian date, mainly from Hajiabad, unique look, feel, and taste.
Dark, thin skin, semi-dry, that distinct flavor. We covered the traditional temperament idea, the nutritional side.
And unpacked all those different types, black versus golden, the regional variations like Hajiabad, System Baluchistan, Piarom, and the others.
Plus the quality grades, super select down to pesty. Lots of variety there.
Touched on the benefits listed in the source, remembering to take specific health claims with caution.
Compared them point by point with medjools, looked at storage.
And even noted a potential supplier mentioned in the article. I feel like we've given a pretty solid overview.
Yeah, I agree. From zero to pretty well informed on Piarom dates in one go.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. Considering all these types we've discussed, the super sweet black ones, the milder golden ones, the drier ones, the juicy ones, which specific type of Piarom date are you most curious to try now? And how might its particular qualities change how you'd eat it or maybe even cook with it?